The year is 2025. Deep within a climate-controlled vault, shielded from the world by layers of steel and concrete, a single document rests under a low, humming light. Its classification stamp, once a stark red, has faded to a soft crimson over the decades. Not about terrestrial wars or political scandals. Its subject is far more profound. It speaks of a visitor, not a small fleeting light, but something vast, silent, impossibly old. A file known only by a cryptic codename contains the first hidden analysis of a mothership. It details an object lingering at the edge of our solar system, a silent sentinel that observed us then vanished. What does it mean for a government to possess such knowledge? To hold a secret of this magnitude is a burden unlike any other. The implications ripple through every aspect of our existence. It reshapes our understanding of history, reshapes our sense of our place in the cosmos, reshapes the very definition of security. The authors were not prone to fantasy. Scientists, military strategists, intelligence analysts. Their words are measured, their data cross-referenced. Beneath the clinical language, awe, and perhaps fear, is palpable. They documented an arrival that defied physics and technology. In 2017, our telescopes caught a glimpse of something extraordinary. It was an interstellar object, the first ever detected passing through our solar system. We named it Oumuamua, a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar arriving first. It was a fitting name, but this was no ordinary comet or asteroid. It was long, thin, cigar-shaped. It tumbled through space in a way that defied our models. Most curiously, it accelerated away from our sun with no visible signs of outgassing the rocket-like effect comets show. It moved as if propelled by an unseen force, a technology we could not explain. The scientific community was divided. Some proposed natural explanations like solid hydrogen ice or a nitrogen iceberg. Others, like Harvard's Avi Loeb, argued the simplest explanation was revolutionary. Oumuamua was not a rock, it was an artifact. Perhaps a piece of advanced alien technology, a probe, a solar sail, or a defunct fragment of a much larger vessel drifting for eons. It hinted that motherships may not be just fiction. Imagine that is true. What does it imply? Civilizations far older and more advanced than ours exist. Oumuamua could have been a scout ship sent from a hidden parent vessel between stars. Its passage was deliberate, a flyby, a reconnaissance mission. Let us turn back the clock to a different era, the summer of 1952. The world was gripped by the anxieties of the Cold War, but for 2 consecutive weekends in July, the skies over Washington, D.C. held a different kind of threat. Unidentified flying objects appeared on radar screens at Washington National Airport and Andrews Air Force Base. They were not weather balloons or temperature inversions. They were solid, distinct targets. They moved at incredible speeds, performed right-angled turns that would be fatal to a human pilot, and hovered silently over the nation's most sensitive airspace, including the White House and the Capitol. The response was immediate and frantic. The U.S. Air Force scrambled its fastest fighter jets, F-94 Starfires, to intercept these mysterious intruders. Pilots reported seeing bright, glowing lights that would dance away from them with impossible speed, only to reappear moments later in a different location. On the ground, commercial airline pilots and military personnel watched the spectacle unfold. The official explanation was a combination of atmospheric phenomena and misidentified stars. But for those who were there, the radar operators and the pilots, that explanation felt thin. They had seen something real, something intelligently controlled, and something far beyond their own technological capabilities. This event was a watershed moment. It was not a fleeting sighting in a remote desert. It happened over the capital of the most powerful nation on Earth. Could these have been small scout craft? And if so, where was the command vessel? Where was the mothership from which they were launched? For decades, the official stance was one of denial and dismissal. UFOs, swamp gas, weather balloons were the stuff of tabloids, not serious national security discussions. But in 2017, the dam began to break. The New York Times published a stunning expose. It revealed the existence of a secret Pentagon program called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, AATIP. This was not a project from the 1950s. This was a modern multi-million-dollar effort to study unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. The revelation was accompanied by official U.S. Navy videos, not blurry, amateur recordings, captured by advanced targeting pods on FA-18 Super Hornet fighter jets, we saw objects like the Tic Tac, a smooth, white oblong craft, no visible means of propulsion, no wings, no exhaust. It moved in ways that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Pilots described it firsthand. Commander David Fravor, like nothing I've ever seen. It could accelerate, stop, change direction in an instant. The release of these videos and acknowledgement of AATP was a seismic shift. The Pentagon was admitting there are things in our skies they cannot identify. And these objects are encroaching on military training ranges with impunity. This raises profound national security questions, from a rival nation or from somewhere else entirely. In 2021, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released a preliminary assessment on UAPs. No definitive conclusions about origin. Confirmed these phenomena are real, tracked by military sensors. Our search for answers need not be confined to modern radar screens and declassified files. What if the evidence of alien motherships is not just in our future, but deep within our past? Consider the ancient Indian Sanskrit epics, the Mahabharata, the Ramayana. They speak of vimanas, intricate flying craft that could travel through the sky, travel into space, and even underwater. Were these simply the products of a vivid imagination? Or were they the attempts of a pre-industrial people to describe advanced technology they had witnessed with their own eyes? In the landscape of UFO conspiracies, one name casts a longer shadow than any other, Majestic 12 or MJ-12. The story emerged back in 1984, when a filmmaker received a roll of undeveloped film in the mail. When processed, it revealed what appeared to be top-secret government documents. Those papers, the MJ-12 documents, described a clandestine committee of scientists, military leaders, government officials. This committee was allegedly formed in 1947 by executive order of President Harry S. Truman. Their sole purpose: manage the aftermath of the legendary Roswell crash and to conceal the reality of alien visitation from the public. According to the documents, the Roswell incident was not the crash of a weather balloon. It was the recovery of a crashed extraterrestrial spacecraft and its occupants. MJ-12 was tasked with analyzing the technology, studying the biological entities, establishing a policy of absolute secrecy. The narrative they weave is one of a shadow government, operating outside the bounds of public oversight, holding the most profound secret in human history. On the evening of March 13, 1997, something extraordinary happened over the state of Arizona. Thousands of people, from the Nevada border through Phoenix and down to the edge of Tucson, witnessed a series of strange lights in the night sky. The event occurred in two distinct phases. First, a series of amber orbs in a V formation moved silently and steadily across the state. But it was the second event, over the city of Phoenix, that was truly breathtaking. Witnesses described a colossal solid object, a boomerang-shaped craft, a chevron-shaped craft, gliding slowly and silently over their heads, blotting out the stars behind it. Estimates of its size ranged from several football fields to over a mile wide. Witnesses from all walks of life, doctors, lawyers, police officers, and even the then governor of Arizona, Fife Symington, reported seeing it. They described a craft that made absolutely no sound as it moved at a walking pace, just a few hundred feet above their neighborhoods. The official explanation came days later. The military claimed the V formation lights were flares dropped by A-10 Warthog aircraft during a training exercise. This explanation accounted for one set of sightings, but it failed to address the testimony of thousands who saw a massive, solid craft. Flares do not fly in a fixed formation, nor do they form a solid black shape that blocks out the stars. Governor Symington, who initially mocked the incident at a press conference, later came forward to admit he too had witnessed the craft and described it as otherworldly. Why are we so captivated by the idea of alien motherships? The answer lies deep within the human psyche. We are pattern-seeking creatures driven by an innate curiosity to understand our world and our place within it. For millennia, we have looked to the heavens for answers, for meaning, and for a sense of something greater than ourselves. In ancient times, we saw the faces of gods in the constellations. Today, in our technological age, we see the possibility of advanced civilizations in the unexplained lights in our sky. The unknown has always been a canvas onto which we project our greatest hopes and deepest fears. The belief in alien visitors also fills a void left by a world that can sometimes feel random and meaningless. The concept of a government cover-up, of a truth being withheld by a powerful elite, resonates with a natural distrust of authority. It empowers the individual to become a seeker of truth, a detective in a cosmic mystery, challenging the official story. These stories function as modern myths. They are epic tales of discovery, of mystery, and of a potential confrontation with the other. They force us to ask fundamental questions. How would we react to the definitive discovery of alien life? Would it unite us as a species, or would it tear us apart with fear and conflict? We now know that there are billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars, many of which likely have planets. In this vast cosmic ocean, the idea that we are the only intelligent life seems increasingly improbable. We stand at a unique moment in history. The whispers from the archives have grown into a public conversation sanctioned by the very institutions that once enforced the silence. The data from objects like Oumuamua, the videos from Navy pilots, have moved the subject from the fringe to the forefront of scientific and military inquiry. We are accumulating evidence piece by piece, pointing toward a reality far more complex than we imagined. The question is no longer just, are they out there? It is, are they already here? And if they are, what comes next? The final truth, if revealed, will be the single most transformative event in human history. It would shatter our religious paradigms, philosophical paradigms, scientific paradigms. The realization that we are not at the top of the cosmic food chain would be humbling, and perhaps terrifying. The path forward is likely slow, managed disclosure, a gradual acclimation to a new reality. The Pentagon's recent admissions may be the first steps, a way to gently introduce unthinkable concepts. By releasing videos and acknowledging UAPs, they are allowing us to get used to the idea, to debate it, and to integrate it into our collective worldview. It is preparing humanity for the next great chapter. The existence of alien motherships remains a theory, but it explains the evidence better than any other. As we point our telescopes to the stars and analyze sky data, we must also look inward. Are we ready to cross the threshold? Are we prepared to meet our neighbors in this vast, mysterious cosmos? Only time will tell.